All right, in this video, I'm gonna talk about should you take the gig? This video is great for a drummer who's looking to audition for something or join a band, whatever it may be. And it's also great for a band who's auditioning different drummers or different musicians in general. It's a pretty wide net I'm going to cast in this video. So whether you're a drummer or some other musician, or you're a band leader or a band manager, this might be very useful information for you. So there's 3 steps to this process. They're not necessarily in order, but these are essential steps that you cannot live without in this situation. So number 1 is pre-qualification. There should be a very rigorous pre-qualification process when you are looking to join a band or when you're looking to get somebody to join your band. I'm going to start addressing just the drummer here because you're looking to audition for a band. All right? What are the qualifications that this band actually specifically has? Because you'll see all the time on Facebook groups, on job posting boards, on Craigslist, whatever it may be. And maybe this is even like a church opportunity. You'll see all the time all this talk about, we're signed to a major label. We have X available, we have X salary, blah, blah, blah. You're going to be looking for specific qualities, specific red flags. And I can tell you about some red flags in particular right now. So some red flags that you should definitely look deeper at the very least and most likely avoid at all costs. When you're first seeing a posting or you're first going in for an audition, whatever the case may be, you want to see how anal, quite frankly, is the person who's running this advertisement. Are they expecting an extreme level of dedication compared to what the opportunity actually looks like? And so that might be, just for an example, a metal band that says they're signed to a major record label. They expect you to bring all the equipment to the opportunity. They also expect you to commit to 2 rehearsals a week, clear your schedule for X amount of days. I've seen postings like this so many times over where they won't even tell you how much they're going to pay you. Chances are, if they don't tell you that, it's a major red flag. Next up, if you're even seeing a posting at all that has that type of language in it, chances are they are nowhere near as serious as they claim to be. They are not going to be able to actually pay you substantially. Realistically, you want to find a good opportunity, you're going to be looking through your direct network more often than not. You might even be putting out postings of your own to say, look, I have this going on, and now I'm looking for a gig. I'm a specialist in metal music. I'm a specialist in bossa nova or jazz, and I'm looking to put together a project or join an established project that meets X requirements. So that's your pre-qualification process. If they don't meet certain basic requirements that you are going to set up in your mind based around some of those red flags I might have touched on, and there's many, many more. Of course, you can always reach out if you want to know some more of those. But if they don't meet those certain requirements, just ditch them. You might still go to the audition. You might go still see what's up with them. But just mark my words, chances are they're not going to have the opportunity you think that it's all cracked up to be. Okay, next. Number 2, who is who? And some of these things kind of go hand in hand. When you're the drummer auditioning for a band, you shouldn't be in the position where you are fighting for your spot to be in this band. You should be in this position where you're auditioning them. You are auditioning them. Who is really auditioning who? You should be the person who's going in with your specific set of rules and requirements and even regulations about what you should expect to see from this band. For example, I personally, if I go into an audition and somebody is drinking beer in the audition, I can look past beer or something, right? I can look past a couple things. But if I go in and somebody's vaping, they're all smoking weed, not my personal opportunity. I have hard lines when it comes to those things. If they're drinking a little bit, as long as they don't get rowdy, I'm not going to mind. But that being said, if you're going into a professional audition where you're looking for some real opportunity for your career, I tend to avoid the drinkers as well. So just something to be aware of. You are way more auditioning them than they are auditioning you. And this should give you a lot of confidence to go into the audition and not have all these nerves that beginner or more amateur semi-pro drummers often have when you go into a real audition. You might freak out because you're like, oh, if I don't get this, everything's ruined. Well, you're still going to prepare adequately no matter what. You're still going to be the most prepared, especially if you work with me and go through my programs. You are going to be the most prepared drummer by far out of the lot. But you don't have to be so afraid that, oh, I won't get this opportunity, because there's always going to be another one. You are auditioning them. All right, that's point number 2. And now point number 3, there's a quote from James Clear in the book Atomic Habits that says, if you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Now, I sort of have modified this, or I've heard it modified to say, if you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your standards. Now, I believe that to be extremely useful in these situations, because if you are looking to take a gig, if you are looking to get a gig, join a band, build a band, and you're auditioning others for your band, you need to have your ideal customer in mind, your ideal client in mind, your ideal musician, band, process in mind. You need to have your ideal situation front of mind at all times. Because if you don't have that, if you don't have this rigorous set of expectations, this pre-qualification process, this understanding that you're auditioning them, you will fall to the level of your standards. And what is a standard gig, you might ask? Thanks for asking, brother. A standard gig is a bar gig that pays you $150, maybe even up to $300, but rarely are you going to get $300 at a bar gig. That is a standard gig. You're going to play covers all night. Nobody's going to pay attention. Everybody's going to be drunk. That is a standard gig. And so when you audition for a band, if they don't meet your qualifications, if they have red flags poking out, if they have all of these issues that you didn't pre-qualify them and you just accept your fate and you work with them as is, you will probably run into a situation of having a standard experience. I certainly have had my personal experience with this. Many times over the years, I've gone in and I've auditioned for something, or I've set up, even I got an opportunity because somebody reached out to me directly because they picked me out from my Instagram presence or something. This happened significant amount of times. I've taken a lot of these opportunities thinking, oh, that's great. I'll take the gig. It's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. It'll probably pay well, just to find out the band leader is a heavy drinker, a heavy smoker that doesn't take anything seriously. The management of the business side of the band is completely lackluster. There just doesn't exist. And so you don't make any real money from it. You go on tour and there's 10 people at your show. These types of things happen so much more commonly than you think. And if you do not pre-filter and pre-qualify, and also just rely heavily on your network to actually provide you real opportunities to look out for you in such a way that they're going to say, we're only going to give you actually good opportunities. If you don't rely on that, and you're just going based off of, well, it's a gig, I can get these crumbs, I can get these $150, you're going to fall to the level of your standards. And you're going to be playing bar gigs where nobody pays attention, everybody's drunk, nobody listens. And then they always have the most amount of complaints too. And so that's what you really have to understand in all these situations. The less an opportunity is designed, the more poorly an opportunity is designed, and the structure of it is non-existent practically, the less professionalism you have in this opportunity, the less enjoyment you will get out of it. You will hate your life. You will hate playing music. You will stop playing drums. And that is the single biggest thing I do not want to see for anybody. Pre-qualify the opportunity. Understand who's auditioning who. And make sure that you're shooting for your goals and you're not falling to your standards. Now, if you want to learn more about this stuff, because of course this is very general, of course I cannot address your personal situation through a YouTube video. But if you want some guidance, if you feel stuck in your career and you don't know what's going to happen next, you don't know if you should take the next gig, you don't understand why you're stuck in this cycle of crappy gig after crappy gig, that's a perfect opportunity for you to come and work with me as one of my clients at ProDrummerMethod.com. So that link is going to be right there in the description, and you can click that. You're going to see a short video. It's going to tell you a little bit about what it is, what you can expect, what the price is. And from there on, I'm hoping that we get to have a conversation, because I don't want you to go through these things. I've experienced them many times over myself. I see it with almost every musician I speak to, constantly having the same complaints because they don't have these systems in place and they don't have somebody guiding them along, telling them that's a terrible opportunity, don't do that. They don't have people being direct with them to say, look, you're not being professional enough. So, and then showing them how to actually get to that next level, because of course that's the whole point. I want to get you from where you are to your ultimate goals, so you don't fall to your standards over and over again. So yeah, click that link. We'll talk soon.